Coming up, a fly into one of the prettiest parts of the country. Come with us to Old Santa Fe.
It's back to school time, and a bunch of kids are headed back as new private pilots.
Plus, it might just be the ultimate step up. Find out where you can get training in a Cirrus jet. AOPA Live this week begins in just a moment.
Celebrate 20 years with Sonex Aircraft by building and flying your dream. Quick handling, fun, and capable kit aircraft models to suit your flying passions. Get the best performance per dollar with Sonex Aircraft.
This is AOPA Live This Week with Tom Haynes and Melissa Rudinger.
Even the steam of August in Washington can't propel the Senate to move on the long-awaited FAA reauthorization bill. Headlines from the administration's legal woes combined with challenging amendments have sapped momentum from the effort to pass the FAA funding bill. The current extension expires September 30. Speculation is building that rather than a long-term solution that we'd all want, Congress will pass yet another extension, kicking the can down the road until the end of the year. You may recall the House passed its version back in April.
And while Congress leaves the future uncertain, others march boldly into it. Buy Aerospace is celebrating the first flight of their Strato AirNet solar electric technology demonstrator. It's a test bed for future aircraft systems. And that's right on the heels of more good news for Buy Aerospace. They make the Sunflyer electric aircraft, and they just announced an order reservation of 30 airplanes. Aspen Flying Club in Colorado has partnered with the company to use the airplanes in its fleet. Buy aims for the Sunflyer family of aircraft to be the first FAA-certified, U.S.-sponsored, all-electric aircraft to serve the training market.
And it's forward thinking that creates projects like that, and the General Aviation Manufacturers Association is looking for the next generation of great thinkers. Registration is open for the 2019 Aviation Design Challenge. It's an annual contest GAMA hosts to encourage STEM education. The contest pits high school teams against each other with the goal of designing the best airplane. They run simulations of the design to compete in a virtual fly-off. Find more info on the GAMA website.
And as students go back to school across the country, some of them are headed back with a new private pilot certificate. Each summer, Liberty University hosts summer camps to teach high schoolers how to fly quickly and affordably. AOPA Live's Josh Cochran has the story.
These high schoolers love hanging out at the airport, but these students aren't just having fun. They're working hard to finish their private pilot certificate in just 30 days. The program is a follow-up to Liberty's solo camp, where these students soloed in under 10 hours for just $500.
It's been hard work. We've been here all day, 6 days a week, going home and studying at night. It's been a lot of fun though.
The camp takes these students and instructors back to the basics of aviation.
You know, you always think fancy equipment, big airports, it's exciting, but there's definitely something to flying small basic planes in the small basic airports.
The students are flying Cessna 150s out of Liberty's new London airport, a small, challenging, non-towered field. The program is extremely low cost, thanks to a subsidy from generous donors and the low operating cost of the Cessna 150s.
They offered us, I think it was $1,600 to go from 10 hours of flight, and they gave us another 40 beyond that. So about 40 hours of flight experience, including all of our ground classes and training for only $1,600. So that is unheard of.
Liberty's flight program allows students to discover what they want to do before they go to college.
So we were looking to try and go, well, how do we connect with those high school students who, you know, are being called to be pilots, they just don't know it yet.
It also allows students to discover their love for flying.
Some friends who were pilots, and I was always told that aviation is magical. Once you try it, you're gonna love it. And I was always like, oh yeah, this is just pilots, they're interested in it. Of course they see that, that's their hobby. But once I did it, I was like, oh my gosh, I got the bug. It was really cool.
And fall in love with the aviation community. That is what inspired Casey Boyer to decide she wants to be a professional pilot.
Everybody at the airport, just people that hang out, would just help us answer questions and give us advice just because. And it was a lot of fun. I grew to love everybody here, and I just hang out here. Even after this, I'm just going to hang out.
In Lynchburg, Virginia, Josh Cochran, AOPA Live.
Wow, what a fantastic program. I don't know about you, but I learned to fly in high school, and man, I worked at the FBO long hours, and wow,
yeah.
Something like that really would have been amazing.
Yeah, 40 hours for $1,600, that's a pretty good deal.
That's a deal.
Yep. Hey, what happens in Vegas just got a bit more exciting. All In Aviation at North Las Vegas Airport says they're now offering flight instruction in the Cirrus SF-50 Vision Jet. The single-engine turbofan is an easy step up for experienced piston pilots. Flight training starts at $1,500 an hour. But hey, you'll get that back at the casino in a heartbeat. When we come back, heading out to Santa Fe for a fly-in.
And rocking out to send well wishes to a famous pilot.
You always knew it was your perfect airplane. Now it can have the perfect panel. Garmin G500 TXI and Garmin G600 TXI, the next generation of flight displays.
Welcome back. Hey, time to brag. Melissa, you've been named to the board of directors of the RTCA, so tell us, congratulations by the way on that, and tell us, what is RTCA, what's that all about?
Sure, so it's something I'm really familiar with. I won't bore you with all the details, but it's a very, very important public-private partnership. It's a nonprofit. It's been around since 1935, so it predates AOPA.
Wow.
Literally, they set the standards internationally and in the U.S. for things like avionics certification, any system, any technology that's used in aviation. They partner with the FAA and using industry experts, we develop the standards. So we are the standards organization.
Right.
It's an amazing opportunity.
It is important work, and thank you for serving at that.
Thank you. I look forward to it. And now an advocacy one to tell you about. The city of Lordsburg, New Mexico had been working to shut down their airport. Local pilot Ron Orozco stepped up. He got AOPA and other organizations involved. Now, not only will the airport stay open, the city council is moving forward to pursue grant money from the FAA to help improve it. It just goes to show the value of pilots standing up for general aviation.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the state from Lordsburg, preparations are underway for the AOPA Fly In to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And that's where we find AOPA Live's Warren Morningstar. So Warren, where are you exactly?
Well, hey, Tom, I'm right here in the Santa Fe Plaza. This is the center of Old Santa Fe. Right behind me is the Palace of the Governors, one of the oldest buildings in the United States. And Santa Fe is really a fascinating place, an incredible mix of cultures. And I have to say, it's probably one of the most interesting places that I've ever visited.
From the pueblos to the basilicas, Santa Fe is an exotic blend of ancient and contemporary cultures. Just outside the airport, the petroglyphs of the ancient ones. Now, it's a bit of a scramble, but these images date to well before the Spanish first arrived in this area. And this is definitely the time for you to arrive in Santa Fe.
Best time to fly is the fall. I think September is terrific. You know, the weather is good, the average temperature is right in the 80s, very little wind, just a beautiful, beautiful time. I think AOPA knocked it out of the park when they picked that date.
Troy's Jet Center is one of our two host FBOs. Signature is also opening the hangar doors wide to welcome the AOPA Fly In.
Signature Flight Support and the entire staff in Santa Fe, New Mexico is looking very forward to having you all out here this coming September 14th and the 15th for what's going to be an exciting event for all GA pilots.
And while there will be plenty to do on the airport, do yourself a favor and spend some time in Santa Fe, the city different. The center of the old city is the plaza, bordered on one side by the Palace of the Governors. Now, built in 1610 as the seat of the Spanish government, it's the oldest continuously occupied government building in the U.S. Today, it's a museum, and it also hosts a daily art market. Native artists draw lots to display. Every day is different, and everything is authentic. In fact, everywhere you turn in Santa Fe, there is art. Wander down the narrow streets, and you'll always find something to catch your eye. Galleries everywhere, for the most expensive tastes to things more affordable. And then, just a few minutes from the center of Santa Fe, Canyon Road, a half mile of more than 100 galleries, boutiques, restaurants. It's historic. The road predates the Spanish. And the Spanish influence is also everywhere you turn. The San Miguel Mission is the oldest church in the U.S., right next to one of the oldest houses built by colonists.
There's so many good places to eat here.
From barbecue to fine dining, food is as important as art in Santa Fe.
So that's just a few things that you can find in the Santa Fe area. We really haven't even scratched the surface, but no matter what your interest might be, I'm sure you can find something that you'll really be interested in at our Santa Fe Fly In coming up in just a couple of weeks. So back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Warren. What a great town. Looks like it's going to be a great event as well.
We could use your help, though. The AOPA events team is requesting some more volunteers for the AOPA Fly In to Santa Fe. AOPA's Mike Woods said we only have about half of the help that we need.
Well, we typically try and recruit, give or take, 300 volunteers. We're at 149 as of today. Specific areas where we need help, marshaling, the air side. Pretty much light across the board, especially on Friday and Saturday.
Find more information and let us know if you can help on the AOPA Fly In website.
Country music star and pilot Aaron Tippin is sharing some of his passion for flying. He's the guest on the AOPA Air Safety Institute's latest podcast, There I Was. Tippin talks with ASI's Richard McSpadden about teaching his kids to fly as their CFI.
It all started with my dad being my flight instructor and soloed me on my 16th birthday. So, you know, there's a little bit of heritage there to try to continue on, and I think they felt the responsibility of that. And that is what I think flying does to a lot of youngsters, is it lets them know this machine is a wonderful machine, but this machine will kill you. Mm-hmm. You know, and you got to treat it with respect. And I think it was a part of their lives when the rest of their friends were just happy-go-lucky, and they were learning some responsibilities of real life. And that's one of the benefits, I think, of youngsters learning to fly.
You can download the podcast from the Air Safety Institute websites.
Speaking of flying musicians, on this week's Flyby, powered by AOPA, we wish a very special birthday to one of our favorite rock stars.
Bruce Dickinson is the frontman for Iron Maiden. He's also a very accomplished pilot. He flies a 747 called Ed Force One while out on tour. It does not get any more righteous than that. And this month, we mere mortals are able to help him celebrate his 60th birthday. There's no better way to wish a flying musician a happy birthday than to do so by song.
That's Flyby host Paul Harrop and web developer Nick Beatty shredding it up. I had no idea we had such talent in the building. That's amazing.
Oh, way to go.
You can catch
Paul
Flyby powered by AOPA on our Facebook page.
Way to go, Nick and Paul. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, that's our program for this week. See you again next time. If you have comments about the show, email us. The address is aopalive@aopa.org.
And we'll leave you this week with some sailplane aerobatics.
The AOPA World MasterCard delivers generous cashback rewards in all of your favorite aviation categories, so you can do more of what you love, flying. And because every purchase helps to support general aviation, every cardholder is helping to protect the freedom to fly. Apply now for the AOPA World MasterCard, the best card for pilots.